Hello, students, and a very good morning to you. Students, today we are going to start our third unit in class 7th GK, that is Fun with Words. So let's have a look what we are going to study in this unit. So in first chapter of this unit, we will study about some confusing words. Second one, we will study about famous autobiographies. In third one, we will study about some poems and their poets. Then consonant digraphs. Then what's in a nym, and then colors in language. So first we will see confusing words. So in English language, there are a lot of confusing words. Means they look or sound alike but have different meanings, which make it difficult to identify a correct word in a given context. So one of the example I want to give you, one of the commonly confused pair of words are advice and advise. So ADVICE is advice and ADVISE is advise. So advice is an uncountable noun and suggests what someone should do. As for example, let me give you some advice. Never trust anyone blindly in your life. While advise is a verb which means to give an advice to someone. As for example, I strongly advise you to eat healthy foods. So here some questions are given. Fill in the blank step questions are given where two options are there, two confusing words are there, and we have to select the correct one. Okay, so first one is the rainfall this morning merely had an dash on drought. So here two options are there, that is affect and effect. So we have to select any one of them out of affect and effect. So obviously here we will fill the uncountable noun. The rainfall this morning merely had an effect on drought. Okay, so effect means a change that is caused by something. So the rainfall will cause some changes, means it will affect the drought. Okay, it will have some effect on the drought. So the rainfall this morning merely had an effect on drought. Then second one is, did the speaker's ideas dash your position? So here also two options are given, affect and effect. So here speaker's ideas dash your position. So obviously here it is related to verb. A speaker's idea can do something with your position. Okay, so here the correct word will be related to verb. So here we will fill affect. So affect means make somebody or something change in some way. Okay, so the did the speaker's ideas affect your position? Then third one, put your clothes dash in one pile. I will wash them for you. Two options are there, all together, altogether. Okay, so altogether means completely or entirely, all together means with each other. So we will fill the correct word according to sentence. Put your clothes dash in one pile. Put your clothes all together in one pile. Keep them with each other in one pile, and I will wash them for you. So put your clothes all together in one pile. Then fourth one, the science book cost 54 rupees and the math book cost 62 rupees. So she paid 116 rupees dash. Here two options are there, all together, altogether. altogether means completely or entirely. So if someone is taking book, someone is buying book, science book for 54 rupees and maths book in 62 rupees. So when we will add both the money, then it will be 116 rupees. So if someone is purchasing both the books, obviously he or she will pay the money for both the books together. Okay, so entirely he or she will pay. So obviously here will be altogether, entirely or completely. Okay, so science book cost 54 rupees and maths book cost 62 rupees. So she paid 116 rupees altogether. Then I request you to speak dash. Two options are there, allowed and allowed. So allowed means in speaking, in normal speaking voice that other people can hear. Okay, means not silently. And allowed, we all know allowed means to give permission for something to do. So here I request you to speak dash. So second option, allowed. Then sixth one, you are dash to participate in this dance program. So here again two options are there, allowed and allowed. So here uh, allowed, so means I'm giving you permission to participate in this program. So you are allowed to participate in this program. Then Rajiv placed his book on the dash. Two options are there, alter and alter. ALTER, alter means to make different or make some changes, and altar means a high table, uh, means a high place which is used to keep something. So Rajiv placed his book on the altar. Second one, ALTAR, altar. Then Nana wanted to dash the length of her skirt. So alter, ALTER, alter means to make different in some particulars as size, style, etc. So here Nana wanted to alter, ALTER. Nana wanted to alter the length of her skirt. Then Rajat scheduled a meeting for next morning to dash his boss of the project improvement. Two options are there, apprise and appraise. Apprise means to inform or to tell someone. Appraise means to estimate the monetary value of something. So here obviously he is scheduling a meeting for next morning to inform his boss. So Rajat scheduled a meeting for next morning to apprise his boss of the project improvement. Now next one in 10th one, she walked around the room to dash the damage. Again two options are there, apprise and appraise. Appraise means to estimate the monetary value of something. So she is walking around the room to estimate the monetary value of the damage. So she walked around the room to appraise the damage. So this is your first chapter of this unit is completed, confusing words. Now second one is famous autobiographies. So an account of the writer's own life is called autobiography. Means a story of a person's life written by that person is called autobiography. Autobiographies give us an opportunity to learn lessons from the experiences of other people. And the word autobiography is originated from the three Greek terms, that is autos means self, bios means life, and graphy means writing. Okay, so if any person is writing about his or her own life, then it is called autobiography. So here some descriptions are given, and descriptions are given according to of the autobiography, and their titles and their writer's name is also given. So we have to match them. So first one is, it is a diary of a young girl who was in hiding for 2 years with her family during the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands. So first one matches with B, the Diary of a Young Girl by Annie Frank. Annie Frank was that young girl. She has written that autobiography named The Diary of a Young Girl. Okay. Now, second one, the autobiography is this autobiography is about human rights activist and journalist. So, second one matches with D, the autobiography of Malcolm X by Malcolm X. Third one, this autobiography narrated the early life, coming age, and education of a former South African president. So, third one matches with G, Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, all of you knowing about him, he was the president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999, and he has written his autobiography named Long Walk to Freedom. Then, fourth one, this is the autobiography of a former Indian cricketer player that depicts 24 years of his international career and some aspects of his personal life. So, fourth one matches with C, Playing It My Way by Sachin Tendulkar. All of you knowing about him. Then, Fifth one, this is an autobiography of a visually impaired girl that gives details about her early life and her experiences with an American teacher, Annie Salupan. So, fifth one matches with H. The writer's name is Helen Keller, and her autobiography named The Story of My Life. So, she was an American author, political activist, and lecturer, and she was the first deaf blind person to earn a bachelor degree in arts. So, fifth one matches with H. Then, sixth, this is an autobiography of the 18th President of the USA and his military career during the Mexican American War. So, sixth one matches with E, the personal memoirs of Ulysses S. Grant by Ulysses S. Grant. Now, seventh one, this autobiography is about a Nobel Prize winning physicist and his life instances. So, seventh one matches with A. The writer's name is Richard Feynman, and its autobiography is Surely You Are Joking, Mr. Feynman. Then, eighth one, this autobiography is about a person's experiences and observations in the Spanish Civil War. So, eighth one matches with H. The autobiography written by George Orwell, and name of the autobiography is Homage to Catalonia. Now, your second chapter is also finished. Now, third chapter is very interesting, named Poems and Poets. So, poetry is a form of literature in which the poet expresses his or her intensity of emotions and feelings in a unique style or rhythm. A number of famous poets have touched people's heart with their poems on various subjects. So, here some descriptions of the poems has given, and we have to identify the poem as well as the name of the poet. So, first one is, this poem describes how the poet went on a walk looking at hills and valleys and felt lonely until he came across a belt of daffodils. So, name of the poem I wandered lonely as a cloud. And name of the poet is William Wordsworth. Then second one, this poem is about a speaker who is traveling on his horse on a snowy night, and he gets attracted by the dark silence that surrounds him. So name of the poem is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, written by Robert Frost. Name of the poet is Robert Frost. Then third one, the poem questions the difference in reality and its perception by humans. It highlights that nothing is permanent in life. Things and relationships change with time. It also draws a reference to the golden sand found in an hourglass. So name of the poem is A Dream Within a Dream, and this poem is written by the poet Edgar Allan Poe. Then fourth one, the poem summarizes the story of a man who decides to end his life due to sufferings, but eventually finds the beauty in life and refrain from doing so. So name of the poem is Life is Fine, and name of the poem is Langston Hughes. Then last one, the poem is based on the events from the Battle of Balaclava that occurred near the Black Sea and outlines the courage and patriotism exhibited by the soldiers who fought bravely on the battlefield in spite of the blunder done by their commander. So, name of the poem, The Charge of Light Brigade, and the poem is written by Lord Alfred Tennyson. So, this is your third chapter. Now, fourth chapter is consonant digraphs. So, a combination of two or more consonants that produce a single sound is called consonant digraphs. As for example, the consonant P and H form the grapheme PH that represents F sound, such as nephew, NEPHEW, and phone, PHONE. So, consonant digraphs means a combination of two or more consonants that produce a single sound. Okay. Now, some fill in the blanks type questions are given, and we have to fill it with three type of consonant digraph, that is PH, GH, and double F. So first one is ENOU dash. So it will be NF, GH. We will fill it here, GH. So NF. Now second one, Philadel dash IA. So we will fill here PH. It will be Philadelphia. Then third one, LAU dash ED. So here we will fill GH, loft. Then TROU dash. So we will fill here GH, TRO, means making or earning money. Then next one, O dash ERED. So we will fill here double F. O double FERED, offered. Then GRA dash ING. So we will fill here PH, graphing. Then GIRA double FE, giraffe. SAPPHIRE, sapphire. Dash ASE, PHASE, phase. O dash OFF, off. TI-IN, TIFFIN, tiffin. GRA-ICS, PH, graphics. DOL-IN, PH, dolphin. S-ERE, we will fill here PH, SPHERE, sphere. Then STU dash double F, STUFF, stuff. Then AL dash ABET, ALPHABET, alphabet. Then NE-EW, NEPHEW, nephew. Then COU-ING, GHCOUGHING, cuffing. Then A-IX, AFFIX, affix. ROUGH, then TROY, TROPHY, trophy. Then DAODILS, DAFFODILS, daffodils. Then CLIFF, cliff. TOFFE, toffee. CAUFFEUR, chauffeur, means motor driver. Then ORPHAN, orphan. Then PHOTOGRAPHS, photographs. Then PROPHETS, prophets. SNIFF, sniffs. STIFF, stiff. So here you can see PH, GH and double F. All the three they are making F pronunciation. Okay, so these are consonant digraphs. Now fifth one we will see what's in a NIM. So the words in the English language have been segregated or separated into various categories such as synonyms, homonyms, antonyms, hyponyms, demonyms, eponyms, and toponyms. Here we have to study about eponyms and toponyms. So an eponym is a person or fictional character after whom a discovery or an invention was named or thought to be named, whereas a toponym is a place name specially derived from a topographical feature. So here we have to match the eponyms and the toponyms given in column A with what they are named after in column B. So first of all, we are having America. So America in column A, it is given in number 1, America. It will matches with the E option in column B, an Italian trader. So America is named after Amerigo Vespucci. He was an Italian trader, means Italian merchant, explorer and navigator from Italy. Okay, now second one, Colombia. So Colombia, it will matches with A, the discoverer of America. You all of you are knowing the discoverer of America named Christopher Columbus. Now third one, Bolivia. So Bolivia named after Simon Bolivar, the liberator of Venezuela. So third one matches with B. Then fourth, Egypt. Egypt is named after the name of the biblical king of Mizraim. Then fourth one matches with F. Then fifth, El Salvador. So El Salvador, fifth one, it matches with C, Jesus Christ. After getting the independence from Spain and Central American Federation, the country was named after the Spanish word means the savior in the honor of Jesus Christ. So fifth one, El Salvador matches with C option, Jesus Christ. Then sixth one, Philippines, it will matches with option D, King Philip II of Spain. Then Alsatian, it will matches seventh option matches with J option, the Alsace region in France. So Alsatian is a breed of dog. It is a large dog, and it is often trained to help police or to guard a building. Now, eighth one, jalapenos. It is a small hot pepper. It matches with the Mexican. It named after the Mexican town of Jalapa. So eighth one matches with I option. Then ninth one, mocha coffee. It matches with the option J. Now option H of column B. It named after the Mocha city in Yemen. So it was the port city on the Red Sea coast of Yemen. So ninth option matches with H. Then 10th option Canary Bird. It matches with the option G in column B, the island on the west coast of Africa. Now you can see in some more to know, there are some intriguing sets of homonyms, means some mysterious or the thing that can create curiosity or interest. That sets of homonyms are called capitonyms. So capitonyms, they just like homonyms. These are the words with similar spelling but different meaning depending on the capitalization of their initial letter. As for example, March. If in March capital M is there, it means it is representing the third month of the year. But if March starts with small m, then it is work forward. As we can see, if we are saying Turkey, if Turkey starts with capital T, then it is representing the name of a country. But if Turkey starts with small t, then it representing the name of a bird. So your fifth chapter completed. Now, sixth chapter is colors in language. So here some idioms are given and we have to complete this idiom with color words. So first of all, we should know what is idiom. So an idiom is a group of words that have a certain meaning that is not directly linked to the individual words being used. Means an expression whose meaning is different from the meaning as the individual word in it. Okay, so idioms, they are present in every language. So here we have to complete the idiom in the given sentence with color words. So first one, the dull cloudy weather is giving me the dash, meaning what will be the meaning of that idiom? It is sad, it is representing the sad or depressed feeling. Okay, so here the word should be melancholy, but we have to fill the color word. So some color words are given, some color words are used in idioms. So the dull cloudy weather is giving me the dash, and whose meaning will be sad or depressed. So blue is the correct word. Okay, so this one is the just for an example. So the dull cloudy weather is giving me the blue. Okay, now next one, during the war people in the cities were forced to dash out their windows so nobody could see them, meaning what will be the meaning of that word? Turning off light. So here we have to use one color word. So during the war people in the cities were forced to black out their windows so nobody could see them. Now, I wish my friend, third one, I wish my friend would use his dash matter while making crazy plans. So here that word will represents the brains or intelligence. So actually the gray word will be there, gray, gray word, the gray color. Okay, and it denotes the gray matter which is present in our brain. Okay, gray matter is a part of our brain that controls our sensory perceptions, uh, as sensory and memory or hearing or emotional things it controls. So here we will use gray matter, means it denotes that gray matter means brains or intelligence of that part of brain. So I wish my friend would use his gray matter while making crazy plans. Now, fourth one, our teacher gave us the dash light to begin a new project. So, its meaning will be to give permission. So, this is very familiar. We when we get permission from anything, then we can say, na, we got the green signal. Okay, so green signal means here green light. Our teacher gave us the green light to begin a new project. Then fifth one, I was dashed with envy when I heard that my cousin's team won a trophy, whose meaning will be to be very jealous. So I was green with envy when I heard that my cousin's team won a trophy. Then sixth one, my mother was tickled dash by my aunt's visit when she was in town. So that word's meaning will be to be very pleased. So here, my mother was tickled pink by my aunt's visit when she was in town. Then fifth one, my father's friend is finally out of the dash and is now making money. So what is the meaning of that word out of debt? So it will be red. My father's friend is finally out of the red. Okay? So as red is the symbol of damage or danger, so my father's friend is finally out of the red and is now making money. Now, eighth one, my new farmhouse we bought the last year in a is a real dash elephant. Its maintenance is very expensive and nobody goes there. Meaning of that word will be useless possession. Means the thing which is very expensive, very costly, and nobody use them. So my new farmhouse we bought the last year is a real white elephant. As white elephant is very expensive, its maintenance cost is very expensive. So just like the my new farmhouse we bought the last year is a real white elephant. Its maintenance is very expensive and nobody goes there. Then the man has a dash streak. He will never come to your defense. So, what is the meaning of that word? To be cowardly. So, the man has a yellow streak. He will never come to your defense. Then, 10th one. I decided to go out with my best friend and paint the town dash. So, what will be the meaning of that word? To go out to party and have a good time. So I decided to go out with my best friend and paint the town red. Now you can see in more to know, different idioms are used in different countries to convey the same meaning. For example, the sentence "It is raining heavily" has different idiom version in different countries. In English, it is "It's raining cat and dogs," and in Dutch, it is "Het regent penstillen." Means in Dutch, it is means its English meaning it's raining stems of a pipe. So this is your sixth chapter, which is completed now. So fill your GK book and prepare it. Thank you, students.